Now stop it. Do you ever get a stick up your butt about things that publishers do with their books? Well, I sure do. And today we're going to talk about some of my pet peeves. And I would like them to stop. But, it's one of those things they probably won't. It's just something that as a reader bothers me. So we'll talk about that. Make sure you're doing all the normal stuff that you do, like liking the video and sharing with your friends, subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Let's go ahead and get right to my pet peeves. So the first thing that I would like publishers to stop is to stop being so inconsistent with book sizes. So as a for instance, most of V.E. Schwab's books are this size. They're kind of a standard bookshelf size. They're not as tall as a lot of hardbacks are, which I guess might bother some people, but it's still a pretty standard hard book size. And then you got books like Gallant. It's just shy of being the same height as Vicious is. So most of her books are this size, and then this one comes out and it's this size. And it's also a little bit wider as well. Why? Is there any good reason for that? I can't think of one. Just looking at the book, I can't think of a reason why it would warrant a shorter and wider version. But that's what it got. So I would love to see publishers just pick a size and stick with it. I highly doubt that V.E. Schwab has any say in that herself. So I'm going to blame that one on the publishers. Okay? Another thing that bugs me is short flaps. I think they might be called French flaps as well. I'm not sure. But it's got this cutoff on the side, and there's no real rhyme or reason for it, except it just adds a little bit of extra color on this one. This is my reading copy of The Night Circus. And I mean, it is kind of cool. It's got the cutout right there, and it gives you a bigger picture on the next flap. But then there's that red strip there. Why? That's stupid in my opinion. But hey, I don't make the rules. I love the book. I'll keep reading the book, but that short flap just kind of bugs me. It doesn't seem to make any sense. So there is that. Another thing that really bugs me is permanent stickers on books. Now you've probably seen a lot of booktubers talking about this. But you got this permanent sticker that just sticks out on the front cover. And this one's kind of cool. I mean, it tells you it's illustrated with more than 40 original drawings by the author. That's great. That's cool. Do I need to keep that on there after I bought the book? No, I don't. But they've decided that it needs to be permanent on there. And that kind of bugs me. It doesn't take away from the story. The book is still great, but I think they could do without that. I really do. Another thing that bugs me is artwork that does not match the character of the book. So let's say that you've got a really prominent scene in the book, and it's on the front cover of the book, but the colors are all different. It just seems way off. The character doesn't really totally look like you think they should. I guess it's not horrible. It's artistic license. I'm sure it's kind of left up to the artist in a lot of those cases to do what they will with the design of the cover. But for instance, Neverwhere. This is my illustrated copy of Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and this is Richard on the front of the book. At least I'm pretty sure it's Richard. It really doesn't match any of the characters in the book. As I read the book, I mean, the background definitely feels like London Below, but the character on the front of the book doesn't really match the way he's written in the story. And I am pretty sure that's Richard because he's the main character in the story. So I'm sure he's the one that's featured on the book, but he looks nothing like himself in the book. Unless I've completely missed something. I'm sure there are people out there that can tell me, am I completely wrong about Richard Mayhew's character design? I don't think I am, but that really bugs me. I've seen that on a lot of covers, and I have another book that's like that, and I won't bring up another book. But in any case, yeah, that's something that bugs me. Another thing that really bugs me is inconsistent cover styles. Okay? Now, stick with me on this one, all right? So, let's take the Elric saga, for instance, okay? So, we have The Citadel of Forgotten Mist. This is the newest book that just came out in the series. We have Elric and Melniboné. This is Elric Volume 1. You're kind of seeing a pattern here. They have a very, very similar style. So, you got that. Again, a very similar style on Volume 2. Different colors, but it's still a very, very similar style to the first two books. And that is, Stormbringer. That's Elric Volume 2. So very similar design there. And then you got Elric Saga Volume 3. Do you notice anything? It's completely different than the other three books. I mean, you can tell this one, nothing like it. This one, again, the first volume, you can see what I mean there. Why? I mean, it's a great picture, and I know this is some of the original Elric classic art. Or maybe it was fan art, I'm not sure, but they chose it for this cover. But it's not consistent. Maybe I'm just being ultra picky. I love the cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. But it doesn't match the rest of the books. Publishers, you gotta stop doing that. And I'm going to stop ranting now because I'm probably going to give myself a hernia. But so those are some of my pet peeves there. Now I do have one other pet peeve that I would really like publishers to stop doing, and that is ebook pricing. Those really popular authors, they just release a new book and you're dying to get your hands on a copy, and maybe you're not gonna be able to get it in physical form. Maybe it's just not gonna fit on your shelves, or maybe you've got all the other books in ebook format, so why buy a physical copy of the new one that just came out? I run into that dilemma several times. And you go to Amazon and the ebook is $14.99 or $16.99 or $18.99. I don't get it. Most ebooks, $7.99, that's pretty average price for a somewhat popular book in electronic format. That's fine. Your average ebook is anywhere from $1.99 to $3.99, maybe $4.99, okay? So that's a pretty standard price for an ebook. Case in point, Fairy Tale by Stephen King released not too long ago, and the ebook was priced at $16.99. I'm like, why? Why? It's an electronic file. Why are you gouging your customer? And it's not the author, right? It's the publishers and their contracts with Amazon. And I'm sure some of that has to do with Amazon. I get that. It doesn't matter that it's a brand new book from the author. Stop gouging us. And okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop there. You get my point. It just bugs me. So, those are some of my pet peeves for things that publishers do with their books. Let me know some of yours in the comments below. I would love to know what some of your pet peeves are. And until next time, guys, make sure you read more books. I'll talk with you soon.